Hey, good. What's up? Good morning. Daily hit and run show. We're back. Sorry about yesterday. We missed yesterday, but we're back on. And today I have a special guest. So Pete Cole here with, and I'm not solo, my man Wes from Your Fielder's Choice. Wes is our golf guy. We're going to do some golf today after our DFS MLB show. Wes, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on? How's it been? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. Wes has been our golf guy for years. He's an OG. We've been together at different sites for a while now. MLB player, NBA player. Well, he plays it all, I guess. But golf is his main thing now. And I figured it'd be a good time after the show. We'll do a quick little golf recap because the Open is tonight or 1:35 a.m. Eastern time. That's when it locks. So we'll do a little golf after the MLB show.
Good
Anybody?
deal.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said good deal. It's one of the big majors in golf this week. So, and it locks early because starts in Scotland this week.
Is John Daly playing?
Yes, John Daly is a former winner of the British Open, and
that's right. So he can play. That's my choice. I'm already playing. I'm managing his minimum price too, right?
I love that guy.
It's my man. It's my life. Cigarettes and Pepsi. We live very similar lives. So we'll do MLB first. Anybody's watching know, yourfielderschoice.com, $25 a month, all sports. That also includes props. And we do have this new props chart up, which Mark does, YFC Tart, and it's been a big winner. It's getting real popular. He does it every day. It's usually up like 1, 2 in the morning. And that's usually how you can get that's where you can get a lot of your profit and the props is as soon as these numbers come out, if you can hit them really early, because they're going to be changing, especially early in the morning. So especially you guys on the other coast, like on the West Coast, check out and it's free. Our props room is still free. So join our Discord. Eric, if you have the Discord address, can you put it in the chat? Join our Discord and you'll see all that. And that's free. We have I know it's a free props room. We have some other free rooms too, plus premium stuff. And we've had some luck this week, actually. My GPPs have been hitting. Actually, my cash hit really good the other night. Last night, the cash wasn't bad, but at least we had a GPP. Chris Duffy had a really good Giant sign up last night. One of our college basketball guys, he should have put it into 121, and he didn't. And he crushed for the Giants. But another slate. We're going to do the main slate. We're not going to do early. But early, I think, locks at 12:05 Eastern time. I'll play it, but I haven't even looked at it yet. So, all right. So, Wes, you got some ownership up there, right? Wes will give me the ownership as we're going along, and that's his job for today. And then, let's go. So, weather. I don't see any weather, but I do see. And I played the Cubbies last night in Wrigley. I was really excited about that stack, but I do see wind blowing in Wrigley right now, like 13, 14 miles an hour. We know how that could change, but that's like the biggest weather issue I see. I don't see any rain at all in the forecast. Nothing like. No, I do see. Go ahead. Do you have anything pulled up?
I don't see anything like last night. I stacked the Yankees last night, and they did good for the first inning, and then freaking flopped.
I see. That's how I started. Wait, the half home run. And I thought that it was where my stack was going to go crazy, and then it died. So, but wind blowing in. So possibly Spencer Watkins, Justin Steele pitching. We'll get to that in a second. I do see a little bit of rain in Cleveland. White Sox at Guardians, 39% precipitation, but that's it. So I don't think we have to worry about too much. And the weather department now, it is a 3, 6, 9 game slate on DraftKings. If you can pull up some FanDuel salaries. I only have DraftKings in front of me.
All right, hold it. Go Vegas. Ahead. I'll get some up here in just a second.
All right. So Vegas, implied runs right now. 2 teams. So we have 2 teams at 6. The Yankees at 6, and they're not in Coors. So Yankees. Well, it's at Great American Small Park, of course. No, they're playing Yankee Stadium, right?
Right.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium. I'm sorry. So Yankees at 6 runs against the Reds. The Padres at 6.1 runs against the Rockies. And I'm not sure. Padres really haven't been hitting. And this could be a Chad Cool game. You never know. After that, though, Rockies, Dodgers, Rangers are all above 4.5, and then the Cubbies. Corey Seager's on a roll, bro. 5 straight games, home runs. So right now, your big offenses are Padres, Yankees, Rockies. So the Coors game, some Dodgers, some Rangers, Cubbies, and then that's pretty much it for like high implied. And the money line, we got a big one in Yankee Stadium. Luis Severino minus 335. I'm seeing anything from like 315, like 350, but 335 for Severino. Then nobody above 200. And then it takes us to the Rangers. John Gray game is going to be very popular, 195. The Rays minus 189. And then a Padres and Coors minus 176. So the Luis Severino is your big favorite on the money line. Now, the question is, are we playing Luis Severino in cash? So who do we got for pitching tonight? What do you got for ownership? Give me some ownership.
Right now, the ownership is showing Shane McClanahan at about 35%. Severino is at 30%. The Boston kid with Josh, whatever his last name is coming in at 31%. And then you got Ohtani at 28%.
So Sebi is carrying more ownership than I thought he would. Okay, so
he's also second in implied fantasy points.
So right away, your SP1 to me is Shane McClanahan. I would think on both sides. It's all about to me. McClanahan is a stud. I mean, he's going to be my SP1. I'm not even going to overthink it. It is a tougher matchup, but right now, I think McClanahan is one of the top 3 pitchers in the game. He's in his season is last 5 games, 7 innings per game, 2.10 Sierra, which is elite. High ground ball rate over 50%, 12.9 K per 9. It's all about, to me, so I don't care if it's the Red Sox or not. It's all about Shane McClanahan, especially when he's in the Trop. And to me, there's no question that's your SP1. Now, if somebody wants to challenge me on that, I mean, go ahead. But I think
the only site, I mean, on DraftKings for sure, he's the SP1. On FanDuel, he is $2,200 more than Severino, and actually, Severino is the number 1 pitcher as far as ownership on FanDuel.
Okay, so that's a big jump, 2K, especially on a core slate. And I know FanDuel has been much tighter with pricing than DK. So I guess we're talking a little bit different on FanDuel. And of course, I do like Severino. I mean, of course, because I'm a Yankee fan, but Severino has a great spot. Probably, of course, the best matchup at home. Cincinnati's weak. Big strikeout rate, like 29%. So can we on DK then? I kind of like this pitching end. I mean, we can try to get McClanahan and Sebi as your SP2, but I also like John Gray. And then who I think is going to go right under the radar again is Ohtani at 9-1 against. I mean, Houston's got the reputation not striking out, but
Ohtani's a player.
Javier. I think Javier's had more of a GPP play, but a really good GPP play.
Yeah.
He's striking out 14 per 9 over his last 5 starts, 2.68 Sierra. So no hard contact, misses bats. There's some good pitching tonight, man. And then Ohtani facing Javier in that same game. But Houston's a tough offense. So when we first came on, I was looking at McClanahan, John Gray. I was like, what's John Gray's? What's he catching for ownership?
He is. Let's see.
On DK.
On
so
DK.
I figured he'd be like second highest owned. No.
No,
this is projected as early.
He is showing about 24% ownership. He looks like he's about the 7th. Well, let's see. He's a 5th pitcher. He's the 5th highest projected pitcher.
Ohtani should be a 10K pitcher. So,
yeah, Gray's 5th and catching 5th in ownership, right around 24.
I know we're jumping around a little, but you got Gray against the A's. too cheap, 7-7 in DK, 27% strikeout rate. His SEER is a little bit higher than the rest of these guys. It's like around 3.4 or something like that. But to me, it all starts with McClanahan, and then I think this is good. It's going to stretch the ownership for the SP2s on DK. I have no problem going Ohtani because he should be a 10K guy. 35 right now, 34.5 strikeout rate. I see. I mean, Houston's no Alvarez, but they don't strike out as much as anybody else, but still, or John Gray at home, or Sevy. Wow, Sevy's dropped a little bit. He's still going to get you 6 innings every game, but wow, this is going to be real interesting tonight. Where are you going to go for SP2? I could really, I was going to get to that Eric Trani in a second about that too, because we're talking about that, especially that wind's blowing in on Steele. So I got to keep that thought in the back of my mind. So right now for the high end guys, I rank them McClanahan, Ohtani, Sevy. I don't think I'm giving Sevy enough credit though at home against the Reds, but Ohtani, Sevy can be interchanged.
Then right below that, I'd go with Javier.
And Javier against the Angels, who just highest strike. I mean, Angels strike out, especially against righties. I mean, the Angels are the worst team against righties this season. Still scares you though without Trout or Ohtani in the lineup, but so this is good though. It's going to jump around, so you don't. It's not going to be a straight cut 2 SP2 guys. McClanahan's probably going to be popular, and then one of these other guys, or we can go cheap, which I already mentioned. John Gray. I think John Gray's your top value guy. But
what about Giolito at 7-9? He's a much better pitcher than 7-9.
Yeah, another thing we didn't even mention is Tony Gonsolin. Tony Gonsolin's on the slate too, right? Didn't even mention him. Having probably the best season. These guys 11-0, 1.62 ERA, a WHIP of 0.8. I mean, he doesn't have the strikeout ability like a McClanahan, Ohtani, Sevy, but he gets there. Just gets no respect at all. But now going to Giolito 7-9, and mainly because he's had some bumps here. Last 5 starts, 4.64 FIP, 7.22 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. So it's got to be GBP. I mean, Giolito is struggling. And Cleveland's a tough team. I think tough team to pitch against. They don't strike out. So to me, but yeah, he's a better pitcher. He's better than a 7-9 pitcher. I agree with that. But I just can't play him in cash for all these other names.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's more of a GPP play with the way that he has been playing, but he's much better than he has been.
Yeah, this is some group of pitchers like Eric Trani just said. I think Justin Steele could firmly be in play for GPP with that wind blowing in against Baltimore. Baltimore can't hit lefties. Then you got even Joe. You're not even talking about Joe Musgrove. Even though it's Coors, I would no problem using Joe Musgrove GPP. No problem at all. He could totally shut these guys right down. I think he's got a decent prop also on PrizePicks too. And then Paul Blackburn. I mean, he's the all-star rep for Oakland, and he does deserve it. 3.36 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, 6 wins. He will give up a couple home runs, but I mentioned Chad. I think you look the other way where who on the slate won't you use in GPP? I mean, I would probably have problems using Wainwright against the Cardinals. I mean, against the Dodgers right now. I mean, who's your favorite GBP? Because man, I like all these guys. I like all these. I had no problem even using
favorite in this. Is probably Musgrove. I mean, a lot of people are going to fade him just simply because he's a cool.
That could be the top GPP call of the day, but everybody's going to be fading him just for soul's sake. It's Coors,
right?
And
I mean, he's got 30 point upside every time he goes out. I mean, he's got the stuff to strike out all those guys in the Rockies lineup just because it's in Colorado.
Definitely.
is the reason that his ownership is way down. If they were in San Diego, he would be one of the top 3 in ownership, I believe.
9.3K per 9, last 5. If he didn't have that bad start against the Phillies 3 starts ago, his numbers would even be more elite. That bad start brought him down a little bit. But yeah, you know what? I think it's a good call. That could turn around and be one of my top GPP plays. Very low owned, and he can definitely shut him right down. Cores or not, I mean, if you're a good pitcher, that's just smart thinking. You play the matchup, and whether cores or not, they still got to touch the ball.
Yep.
And the Rockies are not exactly the greatest hitting team against righties. 22.3% strikeout rate, 12.7% swing and strike rate, which is pretty bad. It's worse than a slate's 13. I think the Cubbies. So 13. No, the White Sox 14.2. So this is probably, to me, this is the first slate. Now we're here in the middle of July. The first slate I this whole season, I can make a case for. Here's another name we didn't even mention, and you have. I think he's like the second highest ownership right now. Is this Winkowski kid for the Red Sox at the drop pitcher part? Didn't even mention him, Josh Winkowski. This is a really, really good pitching slate. I mean, there's no besides McClanahan. Well, yeah, there's like I say, there's elite guys. McClanahan's elite, but and Ohtani I think is elite. Got Zach Wheeler. I like Zach Wheeler too. I have Zach Wheeler all over the place in all my season-long leagues. Toronto's cold. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. Good point about Toronto. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a low-scoring slate. Metal Alloy 419. I have this weird feeling in the back of my head that Chad Kuhl could have a game here. I don't know why. It's just my gut telling me.
Because the Padres hit like garbage the past couple days.
His strikeouts aren't there, but he's got 4.28 xERA. I like that. And I mean, he's had a decent season. And he hasn't been bad at so at Coors, he's only got 3.27 ERA at Coors, 41 innings. And at Coors, their hitting is 234 against him at Coors. So Chad Kuhl is no. Now let's see, rest of these guys know. I guess Mike Minor. I see your point there, Mike Minor. Mike Minor may be the one guy stay away from. Savali. I would play Spencer Watkins. I don't want to use Wainwright against the Dodgers, but once again, I don't think he's horrible. Okay, so we could talk about every pitcher, and I don't want to. So give me your top pay up and your top value then.
Top pay up is definitely McClanahan. If not him, I would say Severino. And then pay down, I would say it's strictly GPP, but Lucas Giolito at 7.9, it would be my pay down.
And that's a good call because Giolito could go through there and shut everybody down.
Right.
But definitely, to me, tournament option. But his year has dropped over his last 5. So, yeah, I like the Musgrove call, but I don't consider that like a value. So I'm looking at McClanahan, my top guy. And then I want to say Sevi, but I'm really probably going to try to get McClanahan, Ohtani or Gray. And then one other name, and I think it is, we didn't really mention Spencer Watkins at 5K. If the wind's blowing in, Spencer Watkins at 5K, I think, is too cheap because he actually last 3 starts 20 DK, 19 DK, 20 DK. Now and that's against Texas, Minnesota, White Sox, not horrible hitting teams. So I'm going to throw Spencer Watkins in the mix.
Yeah, all those teams are much better than the Cubs.
So Sean, you don't like Wheeler tonight, huh? I mean, I'm only talking GVP here. I would not be messing with Zach Wheeler in Rogers Stadium in cash, but yeah, I dig your point there. And I see what you're saying there, Eric, too, about Cool. But I'm just saying, only thing I'm saying here is I'm just looking at his numbers at home. His numbers are not bad for Chad Cool. 3.27 ERA in 41 innings. And they're only hitting 234 against him. Of course, he'd get blown up tonight in Coors, but he has been pretty good at Coors. And his problem is a low K rate. 6.49 per 9. It's not good for DFS. You guys all got real good points here. And Eric trying, and that's what I'm trying to say about Watkins. And you go right back to Steele on the other side. That could be a really low scoring game. This is a cool slate. The last show we had, I hated it. This is a really cool position. You can go so many ways tonight, and you won't be wrong, especially in GPP.
Right.
I mean, this is one of the nice. I'll be making too many lineups, and I'm going to get carried away. And next thing I know, half my bankroll's gone. I've made 1,000 lineups. So. But this looks like it's gonna be a fun night for DFS. Okay, we're gonna anybody that jumped on, we're gonna do golf after the show. We're just gonna go right into golf. Anybody that plays DFS golf? Let's get into hitting then. Catching, which we don't normally spend much time on because catching just sucks on DFS. So throw me some ownership numbers. What do we got for projected anything on DK? Anybody jumps out like over like 15% or anything?
Kyle
Higashioka,
there you go, is at 15%. Right below him is Contreras. I would not touch him for almost 6,000 today.
Yeah, I played him last night.
And then Jorge Alfaro for the Padres is at everybody is well below that.
Okay, so Higashioka's is the popular one
at 2,900 with a 6.6 run total. I can see why too.
But is he? We don't even know what if Trevino plays. Trevino played last night, right? Yeah.
Well, if Trevino plays, then he's probably less expensive than Kyle.
What's Kyle? What's Higashioka's?
2,900.
Trevino's 33.
Well, either way, that's still some pretty good savings at catcher.
Yeah, and I'm gonna this is a value night at catcher unless you go to Will Smith against Wayno. Smith 246 ISO, 370 WOBA against the righty. Smith, I'm not messing with John Gray tonight, so no Sean Murphy. I'm not playing Gomes in regularly. Yeah, this is definitely I'm not messing with catcher tonight. Wait till lineups come out and see if there's any value guys that are hitting like 6th or 7th. Maybe somebody surprises you. I'm looking at BBP real quick. I got nobody here. BBP at first base. I mean catcher. Yeah, it's all about Will Smith. And another name is if Renee Pinto is in there, I wouldn't mind Renee Pinto at 2K. Little pop to him. Yeah, but Noah 2.8. I didn't realize these pods. This is ridiculous. At least I can't believe I'm saying FanDuel is actually right now a better site for pricing. It is. All right, that's catcher. So Will Smith are going to find the value when lineups come out. Now let's get to first base. Let's talk about some real positions here for DFS and who I don't see much. The Mets game's early game, right? Because Alonso owns Morton. And what do you got for ownership? First base.
All right. Well, at first base, the 4 guys in the Coors slate are the top 4.
Hosmer, yeah.
Void at 3,800 is 23. Hosmer at 2K is 15. Joe at 8. Crone at 7. And then everything below that is you got Troy LeMay. I mean, they're all below 7%. So right now it looks like Voit and Hosmer are the 2 value plays at first base.
I may very well I'm not sure how much cores I'm playing here tonight. It's just T-Rash. You said Stephen Voigt has numbers versus Greg. Going back to catcher, I missed that one. I've been playing Stephen Voigt for years, man. That dude has won me money over the years, especially 4 or 5 years ago. I used to love that guy. Okay, sorry. My ADD's kicking in. So we have you got the course guys. So you want to play Voigt, Hosmer, whatever. Go ahead. But they're all going to be popular, and they're all, I guess, good spots in cores. But non-cores, I think I think Ryan Mountcastle is wait. Yeah, Ryan Mount. No, but it's the wind blowing in. I keep forgetting about this wind blowing in. I like Mountcastle too. So maybe I don't like too many first basemen here. Bray's getting hot, right?
Yeah, Bray last night.
He's in 380 over the last month now. 405 over his last 20 games. And good spot against Savali. It's righty, who cares? I got Free Freddy up there. Abreu's price is And anybody you see there, I mean, just also remember for Philadelphia, JT's not making the trip, and I think Alec Boehm, right? Because the COVID nonsense. So we got to remember that too. I like Abreu. First base isn't very good, is it?
No, I like Rizzo, but of course Minor's a lefty, but he probably won't last 2 innings.
Yeah, and
Rizzo's been pretty good lately since he came back off the DL, off his few days off.
No problem with that. The top overall, it was probably Freddie, lefty righty against Waino, but
right.
I respect Waino too. I wouldn't use Waino, but I think Abreu's. We've got Derek Hall, though. If you want to go down, he's 3,600 in striping, lefty righty. He's been crushing righties. Forgot about him. It's probably, it's going to be cores. It's going to be a popular play here, but you want to be different. I had this weird feeling about Mountcastle against Steele. Mountcastle matches up real well against Steele. I saw that, but CJ Crone too, right? That's Musgrove, GBP. Okay, right. So Abreu's my top play. Abreu, then Freeman, and for cheapos, beside the cores guys, I like Derek Hall. Jared Walsh gets a righty, but Javier's, I don't know, I can mess with Javier, maybe some GPPs. White Sox bats have strong history against Savali. Why am I not seeing some of these? Abreu, okay, Abreu's, well, not Abreu. He's 2 for 15, I see. I still like Abreu. Freddie's 222 lifetime against Waino, 32 at bats, 32 plate appearances. That's not bad though. It's good. It's a good history they got against each other. It's gonna be core. It's gonna be cores and cash. So I guess if you gotta pick one of these guys from cores, where you gonna go?
Probably Voit.
Voit, yeah.
If you need more savings than Hosmer, but pretty much. Voigt's carrying ownership the most by a lot.
Voit is, and
yeah, he's 23, and then Hosmer's 15.
See, I'd always think that'd be Hosmer, but he's so much cheaper. But okay, so Voit or Hosmer, that's your top plays. And I guess don't forget, here's another name we didn't mention: Ji-Man Choi at 3.5. I don't like playing Choi. A lot of people like playing Choi. I don't like playing it, but he's been hitting, right? No, he really 230 last week, 274 last 20. All right. So it's going to be Voigt's the popular playing cash. GBP, you want to get different. We like Abreu. Who's your top GBP?
Rizzo.
Abreu, Rizzo. I like Derek Hall as a value. Okay. Let's move on. Second baseman. I'm all about Gleyber Torres tonight. What do you got for ownership?
Cronenworth is far and away.
Oh, yeah.
He's 23% higher ownership than the next closest person. He's at 31, and then you go all the way down to 8% at Rogers for the next closest to him. And then Torres is right below Rogers. But I'm with you on the Torres. I like him.
FanDuel Torres. FanDuel, I'm seeing Torres 3K in FanDuel.
Right.
I'm locking him in FanDuel if I'm playing FanDuel.
Yeah.
He's got an 826 OPS, 494 slugging. This is this is Torres we saw the first couple of years of his career, and last 9 games, 447 average. This is his 523 on base percentage, 1.102 OPS last 9 games, and is going up against his splits against lefties and Mike Minor. I'm all about Gleyber Torres, but of course Cronenworth's hitting now. Everybody knows Cronenworth's my guy since the day he got him. The day he went to the major leagues, we had a big night with him. I remember he's been my guy ever since. And so Torres or Cronenworth for me. I just like Torres tonight. I really do. I think he's going to crush Minor from the other side of the plate. And what about and pair him up with Matt Carpenter? Wait, what's Matt Carpenter? What's his position eligibility now?
He's got third in outfield today. He's at $4,300 too. Prices.
Especially GDPs, I'm going to pair Torres and Carpenter together. Cash, probably more Torres. Because Carpenter seems either it's home run or nothing. But Torres, I'm all about Torres or Cronenworth. Anybody else? Of course, you got Brendan Rodgers, but we got BBP here. Anybody? No, nobody really. No BBPs. Advanced metrics. Looking at it's your top guys. Advanced metric is Trevor Story against McClanahan, but GBP. Take a shot at the Red Sox against McClanahan. Nobody's going to go against McClanahan. Trevor Story crushes lefties this year. Why not take a chance if you're multi-entering against McClanahan? I would. But then it's Torres your top advanced metrics guy. Marcus Semien has been really hitting righties this year. I do like Blackburn, but Semien's been hitting righties. Chris Morel, decent 234 ISO, 379 WOBA in play. Muncy against Wainwright. Rojo Dor, he's got decent ISO. Altuve, Cronenworth, Gorman. So I like this slate. You could go so many ways in this slate tonight. If Coors was on the slate, I would absolutely be out of my mind here right now. But Coors is gonna script the slate. Torres is my play, then Cronenworth, and then you want to go cheaper with I don't know. So you said Torres is your favorite?
Yeah, Torres. Torres Cronenworth would be 1-2, and then if I had to find a value play, it'd probably be Harrison for the White Sox against Savali at 3,400.
I think he lost one last night, didn't he? I think he had a bomb last night.
He had one last night.
This Michael Stefanik kid, I've been using this kid for the Angels. He's been getting 6-7 DK points. He's minimum price. Going against Javier, though, but 2,300. I could, a last man in, I'd have no problem to Stefanik kid either.
The Ruiz kid for the Padres, you talked about him yesterday. He's minimum price today, second base.
Oh yeah, why isn't he?
Ended up with DK points last night.
That kid. Why is he like not projected to start or something? Because I'm not even seeing him.
I just remember him from last night. I'm not seeing any ownership on him. He might not.
Yeah, he must not be projected. That kid, and I threw it in the Discord last night. 60 steals, 13 bombs, and half at minor league season. That's 60 steals. That's like Vince Coleman shit.
Yeah,
Vince Coleman. Who's the other? Remember the Reds had that big guy, the big runner that all I could do was steal base. Who was that?
Hamilton.
Billy Hamilton, yeah. But that's Vince Coleman shit, that stuff. 60 steals with power, 13. I'm really interested in it. And you said the kid had a decent game last night. So what is it, Garcia?
Ruiz.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him in any projections, but yeah, he's definitely in play if he starts. He hit 8th. Andre Jimenez, but it's against Giolito. Taylor Walls has been he's back. He'll be back down the bottom of the order. And here's another one. I forgot about Jonathan Aranda. Should be hitting cleanup again today against Winkowski. Jonathan Aranda. That Aranda is your dart at 2K. If he's in that cleanup spot. Winkowski is a good pitcher. I don't want to think that we want to beat on Winkowski, but when you get a guy 2K bat and cleanup, you got to pay attention against a kid. All right, what do we got for third base?
Third,
Macho Man, right?
yeah, Machado's at 24, and then right below him is J Ram at 16, and then Donaldson at almost 9.
And I can never get J Ram right.
Yeah, every time I play him, he's like 2 singles and a hit by pitch, and I won't play him, and then he gets 2 home runs and a stolen.
I had that Indian stack the other night when they had like 8 or 9 runs, and J Ram had like I think a walk.
Yeah,
hit by pitch maybe. Okay, BBP. Oh no, Devers is out. Devers 6 for 14 against McLean. Yeah, not bad. Here's one, Yohan Moncada. I'm the worst. I can't stand Moncada as a player anymore. I just think he's not the 5 tool. Well, we all know that they said he was going to be. But Moncada 6 for 15, 400 batting average against Aaron Savali. Not bad.
3,100. That's really not bad.
Yeah, right. And he's batting cleanup. Give me 1 sec. And he's batting cleanup. So. All right. My dog doesn't know what he wants to do. She's at the door and then she won't come. All right. Sorry. Where were we? Third base?
Third base.
Okay. So I don't see any BVP beside Moncada. And Machado hits cool. He's got history there. Bregman's got all history against Ohtani, 4 for 11. So we do have some numbers here. Little Moustakas got some hits against Severino. J Ram hits Giolito. So we got a few here. Machado is your cash play, of course. We all know that. J Ram is your GPP pivot. That's an easy one.
Moncada is probably the pay down.
Yep. And then here, Josh Donaldson's still 4-4 on 3,100 DK. He's really been playing much better. Last 13 games, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 14 ribbies. And he is a lefty crusher. We know that. I mean, he's a career lefty crusher. So I would have no problem getting Josh Donaldson in against an overhill lefty. Like that one. Giolito's a reverse splits pitcher. Is he? I didn't realize that. How do I? All right. Giolito's just tough to figure out, man. Like, okay, so here we go for value. Metal Alloy, 419 is threw up 2 names, actually good names. Ramon Urias, Josh Smith. Josh Smith's been playing well. Bobby Delbeck's now third base eligible. I'm not playing his ass, obviously, because McLean and so I like Josh Smith. Matt Bierling's only 2-4. He's probably gonna play third. He may be playing third, right? With Bohm out. Who am I missing? Anybody? Any of these cheapos you like?
I mean, I wouldn't go farther down than probably Moncada, but I mean, as far as cash, it'd have to be Machado, and then if you need to save some money, it would be Moncada.
Here's one. I can't even pronounce it. Vimael Machine for the A's.
Yeah,
he's been up top of the A's lineup back-to-back 2-8 games. Another hit last night. So it's 3-3. He's not a power guy, but what do we have, Matt? 2-3 and DK, 2-1 FanDuel. You could use him as a dart last man in. I have no problem using him, especially if he's top of the order. If he's hitting up there. John Gray's a tough one though, but so Josh Smith, but we like Blackburn. I guess Josh Smith's your top play. I had no Matt Bierling, I think could be a sneaky play. You got Ryan McMahon sitting there at $3,800. Against Musgrove. Man, he sucks now, huh? See, 240 on a season, 7 homers, 40 ribbies. Moustakas as a kind of a sneaky play. Once again, GPP, of course, only against Sebi. All right, so it's Machado up top, Cash, J Ram the pivot. I do like JD. I like to bring a rain a lot tonight. We got Carpenter. You mentioned Carpenter. Definitely GBP mini stat Carpenter and Torres together. So I like Donaldson and Josh Smith, cheapo. Josh Smith, Verling, or this V-mail machine, however you say it. I'm just butchered his name, but apologize. Okay, shortstop.
Shortstop right now, CJ Abrams is taking the most ownership at 12 at 2K for the Padres. This is a mistake. Nico Horner at 4-2 at 11. That won't last long. He should drop. I wouldn't play him at that
That's
price.
your boy, isn't it? Aren't the Cubbies your team?
My boy plays for the Tigers now, but that's okay.
How did Hobby do last night? Because, man, I was on him earlier in the day, and I kind of forgot to throw him in as one-offs. How did he end up doing last night? I can't remember.
I have no idea. I was watching the Yankees and Padres last night. I had all Yankees and Padres in every.
So I don't know why Nico's getting some projections, especially we got wind blowing in, but Ahmad Rosario hits Giolito 4 for 12 lifetime. Trey's got a pretty good history against Waino, 409 too. That's 9 for 22, and you see like 20 at bats or more. That's a pretty good BBP to look at. So Trey's not in the great season, I don't think, but 409 BBP, nothing wrong with that at all. You can use
Corey Seager is on fire.
Corey Seager. I know it's stupid. We should just be locking in Corey Seager. But once again, I don't think he's got I don't know. I like Blackburn though. How can you not play Seager 5 straight home runs? Yeah, Horner is getting wild. Nico Horner's 4-2. I think he had a decent game last night, right? Because I stacked that team. So he had 3 of his last 4 games, double-digit DK. So maybe Nico's come into his own here.
He needs to, because he hasn't been near the prospect that they made him out to be when he came up.
So Garrett Hampson's really cheap if he gets in. So if you're going to play somebody to me, I really like the Trey Turner spot against Waino. I do. Turner, then Seager, and then Timmy A. Who's the popular shortstop, you say? Who's catching the ownership?
CJ Abrams.
CJ. That's right, Corey. I don't think CJ Abrams has drawn a walk in the month of July, if I remember right. I saw that stat somewhere.
Shit.
He's he's a big prospect too. But
yeah,
he hit one the other night. Okay, so I'm not really loving shortstop. I think shortstop is definitely a pay up, unless you could get like a Hampson, something like that.
right.
Okay, so yeah, and I don't like shortstop. We're paying up Seager or Trey. Outfield.
You got the 2 Yankees, 1 and 2 at Judge at 28,
yeah.
19, and then you got all the way down to Nomar Mazra at 2-1 at 17. Then you got Ian Happ at 15. Then Trout, more Padres, more Cubs. They must think the wind's going to change and blow out in Chicago.
What's the latest in the wind? Maybe I read old news there or something. And we know that weather changes pretty quick. Right now, okay, I'm going to Kevin Roth at Rotor Connors. Thank you, Kevin. And we have wind blowing in 13 miles an hour, according to Kevin. So, all right. I don't know. Last night it was blown out. So you want Padre lefties are all good spots, of course, against Cool, Grisham, Mazzara, and they're going to be popular. Mazzara 2-1, Grisham 3-0. This is a travesty. These guys should not be in cores at 2-1, 3-0. Nomar Mazzara, an accomplished, player, he's been playing for a while. Remember he was a big deal when he came up with the Rangers there for a while.
Right.
So they're gonna be a popular place. You like Judge Stanton. Stanton crushes lefties. I'd rather do Stanton over Judge. You know what I mean?
All right. If you had to choose, would you choose Louis Robert over Stanton?
No. No, but I think Robert's in a good spot. Stan is so streaky, and that streakiness may be coming to an end now. So he had a hit last night. If he didn't have that home run the other night in Boston, I would probably be off him. I still think he's in the midst of that streak, but he's kind of on a downswing of it. So I'd probably give him one more. If it wasn't Mike Minor, the bad lefty, and I'd probably be all over Luis Robert. What's Robert? 5'2", Stanton's 5'4". Robert's, big game last night. I played the night before that, of course, and I'm still on the Stanton train. At least one more night against Minor. I'm not playing Ian Happ. I see him catches a popularity. All right, so we know the Padres are popular. Grisham Mazzara. We like Stan. You like Robert. So I'm not going to name every single outfielder here. We also like Robert is in a good spot here against Savali. Kyle Garlick. No, never mind. I saw Garlick pop up. That's early slate.
He's not catching near the ownership that anybody else is. Robert is not.
So, yeah, I mean, I could definitely get that play. And I do feel that he's going to have a big string here coming up. Remember, we got the All-Star break coming up, too. Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker is going to be very low owned against Ohtani, but I think he's the one player you can play from the Astros as a one-off in GVPs. Is Mountcastle outfield eligible? I don't think so, right? I have this since this morning. I have this weird feeling about Ryan Mountcastle having a big game. Anybody else missing? Nikki Castellanos on FanDuel. Just stripling. He's got to hit 9 of his last 10 games. He's still hitting 251, but hitting 9 of his last 10 games. And then you got Eloy, still too cheap too. Eloy Jimenez against Savali at 6.28 ERA. Savali is now. I'm starting to come through these White Sox. Savali's allowing 1.36 home runs per 9. So that's making these White Sox going to be popular. So I think by the end of the day, Robert may be out of the. Robert may end up being higher on than we think, but he may be higher. He may be higher on than we think at the end of the day. So, okay, give me your top outfielder. Give me your top outfield value.
All right, the top outfield value is going to be Mazra at 2-1. I mean, he's got 8 points. I think both nights in at least 8 points the past 2 nights. And then my pay up is Robert.
Okay. My value. I didn't realize Nolan Jones is now. You can play Nolan Jones in the outfield, the kid from Cleveland. 2K against Giolito. I don't mind him. Leo Tavares. Man, he had another big game last night. Leo Tavares is on fire. Nobody even realized that 21 DK, 28 DK, hit it at 10. So like Tavares, I like the Mazzara call. If Josh Lau leads off against Winkowski, lefty righty, I'll play Josh Lau probably in my cash lineup then if he leads off. And they're my top values. And then top overall is right. We didn't even mention Schwarbs. He's 6'1" though. Probably I want to say Stanton. I think you may be right on the Robert call. Stanton and Robert. Okay. Non-cores. Who is your top stack?
Oh, Yankees, definitely.
Yeah, mash spot against Mike Minor.
Them
the
and
White Sox popular, right?
White Sox right after that.
I am looking at. I may roll the Guardians again tonight. Giolito just gave up 5 to the Tigers. I have a little interest in the Indians. Yeah, White Sox, Padres, Yankees, Indians. Am I missing somebody?
I think you got it.
I like this. If this wasn't a core slate, I would be all over this slate, man. I think this is a great slate. I really do. Middle out, yeah. That's what you said. Tavares, he's on fire, and he's going to be very low owned compared to Mazzara and Grisham. Okay, I'll give. Now comes our home run call of the day.
All right, let me get back.
I'll give you a minute to look. Right now, I'm going to be looking at Gavin. We didn't mention Gavin Sheets. I like
2-8.
Yeah, Gavin Sheets is. I could go Gavin Sheets, Leo Tavares over those Padres. Definitely.
He's been batting 5th or 6th too, hadn't he?
Yeah, he's. Oh, I like that kid a lot. Yeah. Overall, and this is non-cores home run call, is going to be. Well, J Rams taking Giolito. J Rams taking Giolito deep.
All right, I'm going to go with Torres taking Minor.
Gleyber Torres, yeah. All right. That's MLB. We do golf real quick. So anybody's watching live, you want to hang out for a couple minutes and do some golf, go jump on. Just give me a second to pull up some golf stuff.
All right, we're going to start. I'm going to talk about some weather. Right now, who was it? CC was asking me yesterday in Discord about it. Right now, on Thursday and Friday, everything seems to be fair. I mean, it doesn't look like there's going to be an advantage to playing early or late players. So on the first 2 days, I've been looking at the tee times, and like the mid tee off times look like that's where I'm going to have most of my guys playing from.
All right.
Rory is catching the most ownership, which here lately, round 1 and round 4 have been where he's been doing good at. For some reason, 2 and 3, he has been terrible and taking himself where he can't compete in the final round. I don't understand it, but on most sites, he's like first, second, or third in ownership. But it's back to the weather. I mean, it's going to be 9 to 15 mile an hour winds with some cloud cover, some sunshine all day Thursday and Friday. I mean, it doesn't show any rain, and it doesn't show any big swings in wind from morning to afternoon as of right now. But that's subject to change over there. Weather changes like Pete changes his shirts.
Right.
So, as far as right now, I do not see any advantage as far as morning or afternoon tee times. The course, we're at the old course in St. Andrews, which is probably one of the most famous courses over there.
It's the first time they've had there in like 5-6 years too, right?
Yeah, they generally rotate the courses over in the British Open. The last, I think, was Zach Johnson. And before that, it was Louis Oosthuizen, and then Tiger Woods were the last three winners at this course. And all three of those guys are in the field. Let's see.
So this turns into more of if there's no wind, this turns into more like a drive and chip show, really.
Basically, the keys to win this week are going to be shots gained on approach. Your big hitters are going to have some advantage if they can keep it in the fairway. So shots gained off the tee. And then this course has several double greens. So 3-putt avoidance is a key here, since some of the greens are 8,000 square feet, which is huge. And then shots gained around the green. Those are the keys that I came up with this week.
And isn't St. Andrews, of course, they only have like 2 par 5s, 2 5s and 2 3s. If I remember right, they have 2 5s and 2 3s, and
right,
and the rest are all par 4s. And
right. So it's half fescue, half bent grass, and Poa is the grass type. If you're gonna really dig into who plays who putts well on what kind of surface. So far, Rory is still the leader as far as odds to win. The last I saw, I'm not going to pick him, but of course he's at home over there, and they're going to bet him up. As far as ownership right now, let's see. Where did I have it? Xander Schauffele, I mean, he has been on a roll. He's won 2 straight tournaments, and he's going to be super popular. He won last week at the Scottish Open. And, I mean, he didn't play bad, and they had some terrible weather. I mean, there was some big swings in weather from morning to afternoon, and he played well enough to hold off and win at 7 under last week. And as of right now, he's one of the top ownership on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured.
I wrote him up in the top plays. I mean, he's averaging 7.723 shots gained on approach and 1.329 shots tee to green. He's first in sand saves, and which is with all the little pot bunkers that could come into play this weekend. He's 10th in greens in regulation on the tour. Like I said, he's going to be a popular play, and his price at 9.9 for the way he's been playing is a pretty good discount. The way that he's been playing, he should be 10-5 or more.
Okay, so let's get into that then. So we're going to break it down 10K and above. Then 8.5 to 10. First DraftKings, who's your top 10K and above guy?
Top 10K and above guy is probably going to be Rory. I mean, he usually does fairly well at the British Open. He hasn't played the way he should have in the mid rounds so far this year. But right now, Rory, as far as ownership, is the top 10K guy. Right below him, I would probably say, is Colin Morikawa. I think he is 10-3. Let me find it. I'm on the wrong one. Yeah, I think he's 10-3. And he was last year he won here, or he won the British Open, not at this course, but he did win here. Those are my two top plays in the 10K range.
I like one name. I like Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas is always in contention in the majors. He lives for these tournaments, and I agree with you there. He's always in contention. He seems to be.
All right, so that's our 10K plus guys. FanDuel
Also,
probably going to be Rory.
All right, but Colin, Rory, and Xander are all in the same pairing. They'll be teeing off at 9:58. So those three guys will be all together. Rounds 1 and 2.
There you go. That's a
heavy hitters.
yeah, I'm gonna say that's some heavy hitting there. Okay, so let's go 8-5 to 10K.
All right, 8-5 to 10K. Xander at 9-9. He's just below 10K. He's catching 30% ownership as well. He should with the way
He's gonna be close to a core play, right?
Right. He would be close to a core play.
Okay.
Due to ownership. Shane Lowery
that's 9, my guy.
He's a former British Open winner. I like him a lot this week. And at 9-3, I think he's going to be a good play. He's going to be in a lot of my lineups this week, just simply for the fact that he is a very good player over there in England and does well in that kind of tournament. And is a former winner here. And at 9-3, I mean, that's some pretty good savings for somebody who's played well at these courses. Matthew Fitzpatrick, the U.S. Open winner, can he win back-to-back majors? I don't think so, but he seems to be popular. Everybody seems that Tommy Fleetwood at 8-6 is catching around 20% ownership. He's not one of my favorite plays. And in this range below Xander, my guy is probably Tyrrell Hatton. He has 5 top 26 finishes in his last 10 starts. He made the cut at the Open. If he can keep it together off the tee box, he will be good. Because I mean, he does well around the green, and he's a pretty good links player.
Okay.
Below that, like 84 to 74.
Hold on. I want to. Everybody's watching. We're doing 85 and above. So, who's your top 85 to 10K?
Me personally, Xander's going to be catching the most ownership. I probably won't have Xander in many of my lineups, but I'm going to have a lot of Shane Lowry, okay, a lot of Tyrrell Hatton.
All right, and I like Sam Burns and Shane Lowry.
Sam Burns is a good play. If he can hold it together off the tee, he can do some damage because he can hit the ball a long way too.
Boom. Now we get to 8. Let's do like 7-5 to like 8-7-5 to like 8-6. And
all right. This is I really like this area here. Max Homa, Joe Queen, those two guys, those two will probably be in every single one of my lineups. Both of them have been playing well. Joe Queen's got a win this year. He's played well at all the majors so far. I just think that he's got the game. He's got the distance off the tee. Around the green, he's pretty good. Tee to green, he's gaining 1.2 shots. He's gaining 0.386 on approach. 0.51 off the tee. I mean, he's got all the keys to victory. He's done well in. I mean, he's got 8 top 25 finishes in his 12 starts this year. I mean, this guy, he's young and he's been playing well all season. I like him a lot this week. He's probably one of my core plays.
Max Homa?
Max Homa, I mean, he's played pretty good this year. I mean, I don't have his stats pulled up, but he's done well most of the year, and he's catching quite a bit of ownership as far as all the stuff that I've seen this week. I mean, he's got 4 top 10s and 17 starts, 2 wins this season. So, I mean, he's – let's see, where did he win at? He won at – he had top 5 at the Memorial. He was 47th at the Open. Last week, he finished 16th at the Scottish Open. So he's in pretty good form. He won the Wells Fargo Championship. I mean, Max Homa's played really well this year, and at 7-9 for somebody playing that well, that's a very good price for him. Let's see. Below that.
2 guys I like. Well, you're Tony Finau. Was it Tony? How do you say Finau?
Tony Finau.
Tony Finau and Webb Simpson. I like Webb Simpson too, from what I'm looking at. They're like my 2 favorites, more like GPP in that 7.5 to 8.5 range.
Yep. I like the Finau call. He's catching some pretty good ownership. Simpson, for some reason, hasn't played as good as he is a golfer here recently. Brooks Koepka, he's a major winner at 8,500. I mean, he's a GPP play. It all boils down to, can some of these live golfers live up to their reputations? Because it is when they have got to play in these PGA tournaments, they have not played as well as they did when they were PGA players. But Brooks, I like him. I like his cocky attitude. I just at 8,500, he's I think that's a discounted price for him.
All right, so your 2 top plays, 7.6 to 8.5.
Joaquin Niemann and Max Homa are my 2 top plays in that price range.
I think you like Niemann the best.
Niemann is my favorite, with Max really close, but I'll probably end up with both of those in a lot of lineups.
All right, so we got below that, like 7K and below.
All right, well, a little bit more than 7K. Ryan Fox is catching the most ownership.
7.5 below. I'm sorry.
All right, well, Ryan Fox,
that's my guy,
at 7-1 is a long hitter. If he can keep it in the fairway, he will do well. I mean, he played last week with some stiff competition. He finished. I think he finished 40 something. I think I wrote him up. Yeah, he's averaging 314 yards a drive. He is 16th in putts per green on the DP World Tour, where he has 7 top 10 finishes since February. He's right. His ownership has gone up to first on DraftKings. At 7-1, he is a core play and will be in every single one of my lineups this week. If he can keep it in the fairway, he can finish in the top 10. Below that, let's see. There's not a whole lot of plays below him that I like a lot. This Tom Kim is catching a lot of ownership at 6.5. Thomas Dietrich finished in the top 10 last week at the Scottish Open at 6.6. Of course, you got Sergio at 7.4. I think Tiger is 7.2. He'll catch ownership this week. I don't think he has a chance to win, but he will catch some ownership this week.
All right.
And then, of course,
any punt player.
Thomas Dietrich at 6'6" and Kim at 6'5" are the two punts.
All right, and the ones I was looking at was we mentioned Ryan Fox. He doesn't play in a PGA. He doesn't play too many PGA events, anyways, right? Though.
No, but he's been killing it over there on the
right.
DP Tour. I mean, he's been playing some really good golf over here.
Justin Rose, he had that bad Saturday. They had that bad Saturday at the Scottish Open, but and then I like down below pure punts personally is Keith Mitchell and Stuart Sink.
I got you. Pretty good.
He's going to be 1% on probably, right?
Oh, man, but he still goes out and plays some good golf lately.
Okay, so give me your core four. Core all four, right. We pretty much gave them all, but I'm looking, being personal, I'm looking probably like Rory, Lowery, I like Homa. And
my main core for my personal main core for my lineup is going to be Shane Lowry, Queen Neiman, Ryan Fox, Max Homa. Those four, that's going to be my core in most of my lineups. As far as ownership right now, Xander, Schauffele, Ryan Fox, and Max Homa are going to be the three top ownership plays in the three price levels. But me personally, Shane Lowry, Jaqueen Neiman, Max Homa, and Ryan Fox, that's going to be my core four in nearly every one of my lineups this week.
So we're up, and we didn't even talk before this. We're almost on the same page. Stuart Sink. No, Stuart Sink. I'll have Stuart Sink as I'm going to dart, and my man John Daly, of course.
Right.
All right, Wes. Thank you for coming on. We will be doing more golf. It'll be a separate show, but I just want to throw something on the end of the MLB show since it is. It's like 1:35 a.m. Eastern time this morning. It'll be locking. MLB 7:05. Don't remember MLB locks at noontime. Early. Eric's got a top plays out. I just posted, and for that, so we'll have a top plays for both slates. And good luck today. Let's have a show. Let's have a day. Big golf. MLB today. Wes, thanks for doing this.
Everybody, golf locks early morning. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm off all day today, so I can monitor Discord a little better.
All right, there we go. And then anybody still watching live, thank you. Anybody's watching on demand, thank you. And we're out of here.